Hello everyone, welcome in on this Saturday afternoon. This game's about to tip off in the next 5-10 minutes or so. Welcome in for this match between the Essex Rebels here in Archers Arena against the Cardiff Met Archers. We're grateful to have you in today. Thank you for joining us. We're on two separate platforms for today. We're on the Women's British Basketball League. We're on their official YouTube stream. We're also on Cardiff Met Sport TV. So thank you for joining us on either of those, whichever platform you're on. Today's game should be a lot of fun. We have the 6th place Rebels against the 8th place Archers. Both teams with 4 points on the season, 2 wins so far. Rebels have only played 4 games. They've got 2 wins and 2 losses. The Archers have played 6, however, 2 wins and 4 losses. Both teams looking to get some wins today. The Rebels are actually on a bit of a roll. They've had 2 great wins in the past 2 weeks. Just beat Durham last week 81-58, and the week before that, the day before Halloween, they beat Manchester Met Mystics 100-60. And the Archers, on their hand, they're looking to get some wins back in the column. The past few weeks have not been kind. 2 big losses, one on the road to the Newcastle Eagles, 45-80. And before that, on Halloween night, lost here at home to the London Lions, 83-47. So the Archers looking to pick things back up today. And the Rebels looking to close out their road trip here with another win. These teams will actually, I'm sure you heard in the pregame, these teams will actually play each other next weekend as well in the Essex Arena. So both teams looking to get the jump today and get a win, and then go into next week and hopefully close out with 2. Got plenty of players to keep an eye on today. For the Archers, their main scorer, Shannon Hatch, will need to be on top of things for the Archers to come out on top. They're missing a key player down inside. Their center, Mara Marquezati, is out today with an injury. She'll be missed down low. The Archers just need to play some good defense inside to stop this transition offense from the Essex Rebels. The Rebels move at one of the fastest paces in the league and also have some of the best shooting in the league. Their entire roster shoots above 30% from the field, some over 40, and there's actually 1 or 2 at about 50% as well. That team can shoot. The Archers need to play great defense today, and really inside, they'll miss Mara Marquezati. They need to make sure they stop easy buckets and stop the transition points that the Rebels are renowned for. Not to mention the 3-point shooting that the Rebels have as well. They actually have league leader Ashley Munns shooting 60% from 3, easily the best in the league. She's had a dominant start to the season so far, but really the Rebels' entire roster, they all can shoot. The Archers will need to have some great defense today to come out on top here at home. On the Essex Rebels' side, one of their key players is Lou Costa. She has been dominant down low to start the season. One of the biggest stats for her is she averages over 8 rebounds a game, but almost 5 of those are offensive rebounds, one of the best marks in the league. One of the best attributes about her is how dominant she is down low, not just with points, but taking rebounds, taking advantage of every opportunity they get. The Rebels will hope to punish the Archers down low, especially with Marquezati being out to contest against her. I'm joined back in the commentary booth now. I'm Atticus Pete. I'm joined here by Tom Guntrip today to provide our color and analysis today. Tom, thanks for joining me. First time we're commentating together.
Yeah, no, it's great to be back here. If you can't be playing on court or coaching, this is definitely the next best view.
Absolutely, I like it here in the corner. We got a good view of the corner, from the corner of the arena today. We're excited for this game. Well, Tom, your keys for the game, I know you mentioned in the pregame some of them, but what are you looking for from the Archers to come out on top today?
Yeah, so I spoke to Steph pre-game, and she mostly keyed in on Costa. She talked about the fact that Marquezati's missing. They don't want to let her go off. They don't really have much size today, do the Archers. Their strength is definitely going to be in their guard play. So part of their defensive strategy is going to be to contain Costa and try and limit her effectiveness. They want to stop the ball in transition, and it's not just stopping it early. It's also getting back at the same time. So it's a little bit of a 50-50. Some players are going to go and try and stop the ball. Some players are going to try and get back. And all they're really trying to do there is make Essex work hard for their points. If you allow teams easy points in transition, the ball goes through the hoop loads, everyone feels a lot better about themselves.
Absolutely.
They can start to sort of feel a bit of rhythm, make them work hard for their points early, especially when they're all fresh. And Essex plays such a high-tempo game that if you let them get out in transition and start to assert their will, then you could be in for a long 40 minutes.
Well, the Archers will hope for a quick start and then to stay on top, especially with their energy today. They'll hope to take advantage and get some transition points stopped for the Rebels. Now, you mentioned Lou Costa, and especially the fact that there's no Marquezati today. Who do you look to stop her on defense?
So I think
Archers?
They will probably use a combination of Shannon Hatch and Levi Warren. I imagine that Shannon Hatch would probably start on her. I think that's what I would do. Shannon's a little bit taller, a little bit quicker, a little bit more athletic, so Costa will try and take her down to the post a bit. Costa's got the ability to sort of do both. If you're a bit slow, she can step out to the perimeter and start to go past you. But speaking to Coach Sadler earlier, he said she's also a hell of a bruiser. He's taken a few hits in practice, even with a pad. So she'll be looking to sort of assert her will on the offensive end, and it'll probably be up to Shannon Hatch to both carry the offensive load for the Archers and also take on one of the biggest defensive assignments.
Well, she'll be a tough out today. Lucrezia Costa, she's actually been on the WBBL Team of the Week multiple times, most recently for the win, the 100-60 win over the Manchester Met Mystics on Halloween, or the night before Halloween. She and her teammate, Claire Paxton, were both on that Team of the Week. Claire Paxton has been deadly for the Rebels off the bench. Tom mentioned to me pregame, she's like the little cheat code that the Rebels have, that they're able to come out with 5 great starters and then have a 6th, Claire Paxton, come off the bench and act in the same way. Just a dominant all-around performance by the whole team. All of them can shoot. All shoot above 30%. There really are not many holes in this roster, are there?
No, and I think last year in this game and across the whole season, really last season, they found that they were quite short in their rotation. So they've had 6 players they trusted and a couple of extras. And now this year, they've obviously got the 5 starters, and then coming off the bench, players like Paxton, Shaxson, Jayden Bam, Tia Freeman. I mean, Megan, that whole roster is high quality. It might not be the elite superstar quality that sometimes is required to take you to that championship level, but there's a reason that Essex have been improving year on year. They get this, they've got a core of players that they've had for a number of years. They've from top to bottom, every single player is capable of playing at that WBL and at a high WBL level. And I think with players like Claire Paxton off the bench, she's so experienced. She's got international experience. She's strong. She's physical. She's a good shooter. She's played across multiple teams in the league, so everyone knows what Claire Paxton does and still sort of can't stop it.
That's an impressive feat. There are 3 players this year that are new for the Rebels. Claire Paxton is one of them, along with Jayden Bam and then Ellie Shaxson as well. All 3 of them have really had a big impact for the Rebels so far. They've got a small roster, but all of them play well. That's really led to their effectiveness so far to start the season. And in the last 2 games especially, 181 points in their past 2. They really know how to put points on the board, and when they get going, they're hard to stop.
Yeah, I think someone like Ellie Shaxson, she had a couple of years away. She's I think she's an Essex girl. She knows the program, and she just brings great leadership to the program. Jayden Bam, a young hot prospect from Manchester, signed up for uni at Essex. And I think that's part of what they like to do. They like to try and get players in for multiple years to work on the skills over the course of 3 years, of course, their degree. And then you see the benefits when you look at the point totals and everyone starts to be able to shoot. 90 points a game in WBL is a very high rate. If you can average 90 points a game across the season, you are going to have a great chance at some silverware come the end of the year. It's very difficult for most teams to get even close to matching 90 points as a one-off, let alone across the course of multiple games. So if you can put together streaks of great scoring, it would require a very special game to beat you.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the key differences between the 2 teams when you look at the box scores so far. Essex average almost 75 points a game amongst their first 4 games of the season. The Archers a little bit less at about 61. But the Archers have a key player back today, Sarah Jorgensen, who last year scored about 9 points a game for the Archers. Do you think she can help make up the difference today, Tom?
Yeah, I think, what Sarah brings is she brings a little bit of composure on the ball. I think the Archers were really missing ball handlers at the start of the season. Laura Shanahan out injured, Sarah unavailable due to registration concerns, Lauren Psyche not able to get in the country, Robin Lewis moved away. They've sort of all their ball handling depth vanished, and it forced people into unfamiliar positions. So certainly Kim Kane's got to be a lead ball handler. Denisa Molnar was called up from D1 and is now back in the D1 team, and it just threw them off their rhythm a little bit. So her return will not only benefit in terms of what she brings, but also benefit in terms of putting people back more towards their familiar roles that we talked about. So Kim Kane can go off the ball and start to shoot a little bit more rather than having that creative pressure. Same for Isabel Bunyan. I think she's only 16 years old. There's a lot of pressure to be one of the lead ball handlers and creators in the WBBL. So just to take a little bit of pressure off her so that she can then go and do her thing without worrying too much about carrying the workload. Absolutely.
Well, that workload is something the Archers will need to manage today. They've struggled early to start this year with turnovers. They average about 21 per game, but the real problem last week against Newcastle, 2 weeks ago, I apologize, November 6th, big loss out there, but 29 turnovers, one of the biggest problems in that game. Hopefully these reduced roles, or roles to back what people are more used to, that will help reduce those turnovers and help the Archers come out on top. They need to take advantage of every possession they can get in this game.
Yeah, I think it sounds obvious, but if you keep passing the ball to the opposition, you can't score. And while that is very obvious, it's also, it ruins your rhythm a little bit if you can't get shots up. You know, generally when you have the turnovers, they're either live ball or dead ball. A lot of live ball turnovers, especially against a team like Essex who run. If you pass the ball straight to them, they can just go the other way. They don't have to worry about running an offense, setting stuff up. You're not able to get back on defense. So, you know, especially when you've got lots of live ball turnovers, that's really when it starts to kill you as a team. And it's also turnovers, you know, mistakes happen in basketball. Otherwise, people wouldn't miss shots or have turnovers.
Yeah.
And it's also how you react to those. So if you turn the ball over, are you getting straight back? What's the next play? What's the next play? Sort of that next play mentality. So I think if you let turnovers get to you, especially when you have in the 20s, you let that get to you, which it probably will, then you will struggle. You have to be able to find a way to play through and fight through your struggles, both from a X's and O's tactical point of view and also from the mental point of view of, I've made a couple of mistakes here, but I can't let it get me down.
Absolutely. Well, the Archers will be hoping for some of that confidence today. Do you think they have a lot of confidence, even after 2 big losses, or actually 3 losses in a row for the Archers? Do you think there's going to be enough confidence to come out on top today?
I think when you're playing at the WBL, your level of motivation should almost always be 100%, if not 105%. So I think every time you come into a game as a coach or as a player, you've got to be believing you can win. And I know that while the Archers are going to look at this and go, yes, this is a winnable game. You know, they're going to look at Essex and think this is the sort of team where we want to get to that 6th to 8th spot where we can get into the playoffs and maybe avoid the top seed, which will probably be London Lions. This is the sort of game where they want to be trying to pick up these cheeky little wins against teams that finished above them. You know, a winnable home game against a roughly similar team. When you go through the calendar, this is the sort of one where you're thinking, I'd like this one.
Absolutely. Well, the Archers will be looking to win this one, of course, and at the moment, again, Essex are in 6th, Cardiff Met are in 8th. They're in the last playoff position. We still have a long way to go throughout the season. 14 games left for the Archers, 16 games left for the Rebels, but you need to be in those top 8 positions in order to get to the playoffs.
The Archers they've struggled to make the playoffs in recent seasons. They've sort of lacked that squad depth that we've talked about that Essex have. And when Essex came into the league, I think they finished bottom in their first year, and they've slowly been climbing, and then last year they took a really big jump. And I think that just sort of goes to show when you keep the same players around year on year and you improve them, and then just keep adding little bits to the core, and that's where Essex have had their success. But it's the sort of team, Essex will probably be hoping for a potential top 4 finish.
Yep.
Once they've got their rhythm together, and once they've stopped having to play Sevenoaks and London Lions, and they're on a little bit of an easier streak, or a more winnable streak.
Yep.
And for Archers, it's the sort of game where they want to try and steal it because they know that they're playing against a potential top 4 team. So there's 2 teams with sort of different goals for the season. Archers are probably looking 6th to 8th. Essex are probably saying that the lowest they want to finish is 5th. But those expectations shouldn't really change how you approach this game. You're still going out there with your tactics, how you're going to defend, how you're going to attack.
Of course.
And going out there with just 100% commitment, and I think that's what we'll see from the start.
Absolutely.
It's sort of a fresh start for the Archers.
Well, we're just moments away from tip-off here. The Archers actually haven't had a season where they've had more than 6 wins in the WBBL so far. They'll be hoping to start with a win today. They'd go up to 3. We're just moments away from tip-off here. We'll go through the starting 5 of both teams for you. For the Archers, number 8, Sarah Jorgensen. Number 10, Issy Bunyan. Number 13, Kim Kang. Number 14, Levi Warren. Number 22, Shannon Hatch. For the Rebels, their starting 5. Number 4, Ashley Munns. Number 8, Tia Freeman. Number 11, Carla Salazar. Number 21, Lou Costa. And number 25, Andrea Kohlhaas.
So a slight change to the regular Essex starting lineup. Angelique Waith struggling a little bit with the chest infection, so she's going to come off the bench today, and they're going to start slightly smaller. But like we said about Essex, it almost doesn't matter who they start. They've obviously got their preferred starters, but it feels like they could be very much plug and play. Anyone could start and almost play any role.
Yeah. We're moments away from tip-off here. Issy Bunyan will go up for the Archers against Tia Freeman of the Rebels. Up in the air, Freeman gets it down, but the Archers come away with it. Shannon Hatch on the breakaway to start us off. The The Archers set their play here. Back to Hatch. Warren, top of the key. Long range shot up in the air, off the back iron and down. Rebels looking to get some fast points on the board quickly here. You can see their transition offense immediately. But the Archers come away with the steal there. Hatch takes it. She'll pass it off here.
And Levi Warren doing a good job there fronting on Costa, and that looks to be the strategy. It looks like number 14, Levi Warren's going to take Costa, and they're going to look to not let her catch it down in the post.
Warren almost got that rebound, couldn't come away with it though. And Salazar with the ball now. Showing up the court, look inside, pass inside, cut in, up, and lays it in. 2 and 1 coming up on the free throw here.
So yeah, she just couldn't get round in front, and the help from King a bit late. And the and one feels like a little bit of a sucker punch there. Not only if you've not quite got the strategy right, someone picks up the foul. That's the easiest way for 3 points.
Well, they ran the same play they did on their first possession to the Rebels. Archers got a steal on the first one, but not quite as lucky here. That free throw up from Costa off the front iron, rolls back in. Rebels take an early 3-0 lead.
And that's exactly what Steph Collins identified right at the start of the game. Don't let Costa go off.
Well, Bunyan's losing the ball here. She's got it out. Warren almost has it, but it's off her hands. The fight between Warren and Costa. Archers lose that one. Turnover, and the Rebels will take possession here.
You see that defensive possession there really energized the Essex bench. That's the sort of hustle you want to see from your players, especially as a coach. If your players are on the deck, that's a good sign.
The Rebels liking the start they've got. Open shot here from Kohlhaas. Off the back iron, up in the air, offensive rebound, trying to go up strong, eventually gets it up, and another foul called. 2 early fouls.
Yeah. Costa just going over the back of Warren on the box out. She's just so good at grabbing those offensive rebounds. Like you said, 5 offensive rebounds per game. You've really got to fight hard to get rid of her. It's not just putting a body on her, it's actively getting her away from the hoop.
Well, Costa's first free throw misses. Throughout the year, this has been the one disadvantage of Costa's game. She's a 60% free throw shooter on the year so far. Second one, though, up and in, and the Essex Rebels have a 4-0 lead to start this game. Jorgensen brings it up the court now. She's under heavy pressure early.
Yeah, it's 4-0, yeah.
Hatch at the top. Back to Jorgensen. Tries to find the in-look pass, but Warren pushed off the ball there. Costa's got another steal.
Costa's having a pretty influential start here.
Really has. There she is again, goes up again, gets another shot, easy layup. Early 6-0 lead, and the Archers are going to take a quick timeout here. They've got to change something because Costa has just burned them on every play.
Yeah, they're looking for Costa inside, and what they're doing is they're trying to keep a few shooters closer to Costa and on the strong side. And all that means is that Kim Kang has a tough decision to make. Does she leave a very good 3-point shooter open in the corner to go and help, or does she not go for the 20-foot trip across the court to try and catch that lob over the top? So they've really sort of spaced the floor nicely there, and they are going to have to make an adjustment there, because if they continue like this, they could get blown out in the first quarter here.
Yeah. Well, the Archers will look to make some changes here in this timeout. There aren't really many, there's no perfect option or no perfect solution to this. Costa down low is just dominant, but the Rebels are also extremely good when spot up, catch shots. They're really, really good at hitting everything they take. As a team, they're shooting 40% from beyond the arc for 3. That is an incredibly high mark. It's one of the best in the league. We've only talked about Lou Costa so far. We haven't even gotten to people like Ashley Munns or Claire Paxton or anyone else who's scoring for the Rebels as well. So not a great start from the Archers, looking to come back here out of the first timeout they've called. Kang goes back to Hatch. She'll go back to Warren. Swings it over to Jorgensen now. Jorgensen calls her play, gets a screen from Hatch, gets the switch. But a pass inside, again, that's taken away. Freeman on the steal. Salazar gets the ball back. She's up against Kang. She'll go to the top. Freeman drives inside, tries to be Hatch, lays it off the glass, nowhere close. Archers get the rebound.
Yeah, some nice defense from Shannon Hatch there, just staying nice and vertical. Take the decision out of the referee's hands, play good, clean defense, force the miss.
Jorgensen now, she's looking to drive. She's in the paint, going up, goes up strong. Wild layup, though. Goes off the supports for the basket, and that's out of bounds. Rebels will take possession of this one.
Yeah, they've started to try and be a little bit more aggressive off the off the dribble there, and I think that's going to be part of it. If you don't put any pressure on the hoop, defenses can sort of just key in more towards the shooting, and if you're never going to the hoop, people don't worry about help so much. Every pass becomes a little bit more difficult.
Good passing here by the Rebels. Drive inside, kick back out, long range three up in the air, and that drops in nicely. Another 3 points for the Rebels. They've already got a 9-0 lead here just a couple minutes into the first quarter.
And we can see why she shoots 60% from three on the year. No hesitation, hand right in the face. She just buried it.
That was an impressive shot. Warren now, Archers looking for their first points of the game, 3 minutes in. Jorgensen trying to beat Salazar. Hand check, and that'll be a foul on the Rebels here.
Essex looking to switch hard there and really try and force the ball sort of out of the point guard's hands, so out of Jorgensen's hands, out of King's hands, and make slightly less able playmakers make some decisions and plays.
Well, hopefully another playmaker checking in here for the Archers. Lauren Psyche checking in here. She's on the ball now. This is her first appearance for the Archers. Hatch has got the ball. She's pushed back. Kang now. Kang on the double. She drives inside, goes between two, puts the layup. Oh, didn't drop in.
Yeah, so more aggressive and direct play, really trying to attack that defensive coverage from Essex. I think that's, if you don't beat a coverage, they won't have to change it.
Another three up in the air. This one a little too long. Psyche brings it up the floor. Looking for help. She's got Jorgensen. Jorgensen's long range three. That one's up off the front iron. Hatch for the offensive rebound. Psyche comes down with it, and she'll kick it back out. Jorgensen up. Rolls nicely in. 2 points for the Archers here. 9-2. Rebels with a 7-point lead.
Sarah Jorgensen's first points of the season.
Stolen there by the Archers. Psyche to bring it up the floor. Looking for a quick transition bucket here. She drives inside. Behind her back, goes to Hatch. Hatch cuts in. Jorgensen on the corner. She'll cut in now. Goes up strong. Swatted away. Big play there from Carla Salazar.
There's some nice play by Kim Kang on the defensive end there. She got there early on the pass to Costa. Managed to get the steal. And that's what Archers are going to have to do. If they want to play that sort of strategy, they have to get there early.
Archers definitely looking for steals early, especially with the height disadvantage they have. Again, no Mara Marcazzati today for the Archers. Not a lot of height down low. They're definitely playing small ball, as it would be termed. Inbound here, Salazar at the top for the Rebels. Pass inside, looks to go up, and Bam takes it up. Drops in nicely from the rim. 11-2, 9-point lead for the Rebels now.
D'Angelique Way is such a dangerous player to have coming in off the bench. She's leading scorer last year, and just for the day, she's going to be a massive handful off the bench.
Wade's got it again. She'll kick it out to the corner. It's back to Kohlhaas. This long-range three goes off the iron, and Hatch with a strong rebound. Driving up the floor now. Psyche with it. Looking to start the play. Jorgensen cuts inside. There's Hatch. And she's fouled on the way up. 2 shots to come for the Archers.
Yeah, it's a nice little inside pass there from Jorgensen. Jorgensen's quite direct with those passes, so it's a risk reward there. She can thread that, but as we saw earlier, it can sometimes get them into trouble. So it's sort of it's either a layup or it's a turnover. And there, great play from Jorgensen to thread that pass. And Muntz had to take the foul, otherwise Hatch has an easy layup.
Like you mentioned, Jorgensen with 2 turnovers early, but that pass found Hatch this time. First one goes in nicely. 11-3 here, 8-point lead. Archers looking to cut this one down. The second one goes up and in, 11-4. Archers starting a bit of a full court press here, deep in the first quarter. Kohlhaas now. Pass switched over. Long range three, that one's up in the air. Off the back iron, but she's fouled. We're gonna have 3 shots here for the Rebels.
Wagstaff not happy with that, but you've got to leave the shooter room to land. She might argue that the player had already landed, but the referee right there sees it differently.
A tough foul to give up for the Archers, but 3 shots coming up here for number 11, Carla Salazar.
I think when you're struggling a little bit in terms of your own flow, I think the last thing you want to do is sort of change the flow of the game by giving the opposition some easy points while the clock's not moving. It does give you a chance to quickly get together, huddle up, discuss what you're going to run next time or what you need to work on without calling a timeout. But again, in an ideal world, you wouldn't want to be committing those fouls, and you just have to use alternative moments.
Yeah, not at all. Rebels take advantage. They get 3 points from that. 10-point lead now. Drives inside. Open shot, but that's off the back glass. Doesn't hit the rim.
Yeah, Lemoyne's come in to I think, mostly match the athleticism of Waith. That's probably one of the more athletic battles that there would be in WBBL.
Well, Kohlhaas on it now. She's driving around the court, kicks it back out. Waith, there she is, lays that one up and in.
Yeah, constant off-ball movement. You get a drive baseline and someone's circling around when the defense isn't looking. It's an easy little dump-off pass, and it's a great put-in.
Yep. Tough layup there from Jorgensen, didn't drop in. Kohlhaas now, open three. This one's up, long range, rattles in nicely. Another three for the Rebels. Wow, 19 early points in the first 6 minutes. Jorgensen now looking to get some offense started. Hatch finds Jorgensen inside. She'll get an easy layup. There you go. 19-6.
That's the thing, when you're struggling, there's obviously a reason you're struggling. You're struggling to find easy buckets. So when you can get an easy bucket, you have to make the most of it, and they did just that.
The Archers need every easy bucket they can get. They'll need to play some defense here. Kohlhaas inside. She's under pressure. We'll kick it back out. There we go. Stolen away by Hatch. Hatch driving inside, one-on-one. She takes it up, lays it up. Couldn't drop it in, though.
Yeah, some good defense from Munns there, just making sure that she kept backing away, got into a legal guarding position, and just put Hatch off enough.
Lemoyne did the same thing there. And the Archers come away with the rebound. Jorgensen looking for something she wants. She'll find Hatch again. Back to Hatch. Drives inside, kick to the corner, long range three. That one up in the air. Doesn't drop though. Open look though.
It's starting to generate some. It took a little bit of time to get into the offense there, and I think that's going to be a natural byproduct of a lack of familiarity. Two players making their season debuts today, including one who's never played for the club before.
Yeah.
And this is probably a group of 5 that have never played together, potentially even in training with Lauren's recent arrival. So they're going to struggle to find some chemistry.
This three up in the air just beats the buzzer. Another big three from Ashley Munns. Like you said earlier, Tom, she gets the ball, it goes right up immediately. It looks good every time.
She's got great shooting form, and as the shot clock's going down, it's not necessarily what you traditionally call clutch, but if you can make plays as the shot clock's running down, it's such a massive boost to you as a team.
This three up in the air from the Archers, that one doesn't drop. Looks like it's off Sarah Jorgensen. And this will be Rebels ball. Big substitutions for both teams now.
Yeah, Costa's come back in for Rebels, and Claire Paxton and Megan Haynes are making their first appearances of the game. Speaking to Coach Tom Sadler at the start of the game, he's saying that Haynes' quickness and her ability to get into the key, he thinks is almost unmatched across the league. And Claire Paxton, WBL fans know all about Claire Paxton, stretch big.
Well, Haynes drives inside, puts a strong layup up, doesn't drop in. But again, another offensive rebound, another bucket for Lou Costa, and another and one.
This is as a defense there, you know, you've worked hard, you've forced a layup miss, but you have to make sure that you finish every possession with a defensive rebound. And a lot of what games come down to is how often are you doing the fundamentals. So if you can't finish off with defensive rebounds and box outs, then it almost doesn't matter what sort of strategies you come up with. You have to make sure you secure the ball, and they've not done that so far.
No, this free throw up from Costa, that one drops in. 25-6. Rebels with a big 19-point lead early in the first quarter. 8 minutes down, 2 to go in the first. Out to Karis Roy now. She'll go to Wagstaff. Wagstaff tries to find an inlet pass, but it's not there, and Claire Paxton easily takes it away.
Another poor possession for the Archers there. They're spacing all over the shop, and I think that's a sign that they're not fully happy with how they're playing. They're not quite getting their offense firing.
Another long-range three up for the Rebels. This one doesn't drop, but again, they're getting the open looks they want.
They've got no hesitation in firing up threes, and I think that's something that the coach, Tom Sadler, always emphasizes, is that if it can go up, it goes up.
Another steal here from the Rebels, looking for a quick basket. They'll move it around. Kohlhaas in the corner. She'll take an open three. That one's off the edge of the glass. Archers get away with that one. Long-range pass, driving inside, tries to go up strong with the Euro step, banks it in.
That's a great defense, but better offense. That's a strong take from Moreno.
It was Moreno's first 2 points of the game, and the Archers really needed those. This long-range three up from Paxton on the run. Wow, swishes in cleanly. I don't know how you stop that one.
No, there's sometimes when you're playing, like, shots are just going to fall like that, and the only thing you can do is just pretend like it didn't happen and move on with the next play.
That's what they're looking for here. Moreno now, she'll take a three of her own. That one doesn't drop. Roy goes up for the rebound, but Paxton gets it in front of her. Haynes takes it up the court now. Bit of confusion on the play, but they've got it now. Munns with it. Swings it to the side. Back to Haynes. Haynes looking to drive on Psyche, and she's fouled on the pass. Rebels will inbound this ball.
It's going to be 2 shots for Haynes on the team foul. It's probably an unnecessary reach there by Lemoyne. Haynes moving away from the hoop. Just let her make the pass and force another decision.
Just about 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Rebels looking to put 2 more points on the board here with these 2 free throws from Megan Haynes. First one up, that one drops in. Haynes about a 77% shooter on the year. She's 14 of 11 now on the entire year. This second one goes up, that one goes in as well. 30-8, a 22-point lead for the Rebels.
I imagine the Archers here will try and hold for the final shot, but Essex's defensive pressure may force the ball to go into someone else's hands. They want to keep it in, Archers want to keep it in Lauren Psyche's.
Well, Psyche looking for space. She drives, takes a cutback. She'll go again, gets the screen. This shot up in the air doesn't go, but an offensive rebound put up and in by Solene Lemoyne. Last 2
nice
points in the first quarter there.
Nice hustle play, just to give them a little bit of momentum going into the quarter break. Anytime you head into a quarter break down 30-10 after the first quarter, you are not going to be happy. But just a slight boost there to finish, get yourself into double digits. It's just those sort of small psychological ploys that just help you feel like you're still in it. Which they are. I mean, 30 minutes left in the game. There's plenty of time. It's a big deficit early.
Yeah. Great start here early from the Rebels. They've just gotten points from everyone all around the board. Lou Costa leads with 9 points. Ashley Munns with 6 on her 2 3-pointers. And then everyone else, 3 points for Carla Salazar, 3 for Andrea Kohlhaas, and up and down the entire roster, everyone's getting points at the moment. They're just moving the ball really well, and the Archers haven't been able to cope, especially inside and with the quick transition buckets. They'll need to change something here as we start the second quarter soon so they can get anything up on the board to come back here.
Yeah, I think the stat that stands out there for me is on the 9 made field goals, there's been 8 assists. And while stats always lack sort of the context of what the eye shows you, 8 assists on 9 field goals indicates to me that they are moving the ball incredibly well, and the scoreboard is also showing that. So they'll be very happy with that start. They're hitting each other right when they need to. You know, they're being unselfish, and you know they're playing great on the defensive end. 30 points in a quarter. I don't think there's a team in the world that wouldn't take 30 points every quarter.
30 points in a quarter is good for any league, especially here in the WBBL. We'll start the second quarter in just a moment here. Shannon Hatch checks back into the game for the Archers.
This is going to be close to one of the Archers' best lineups. We've got Shannon Hatch back in the game, 2 young Welsh talents. Lauren Psyche playing her first game, and then Kim Kang, who's been playing quite well. Well, yeah, started the season very strong. But they need to make sure that they really start these first 2 minutes. When I was coaching my team, I always talk about throwing the first punch. Like you're a boxer, you come out in the next round. You want to make sure you get the first hit, and that's what the Archers have got to do here. Basketball's a bad game runs. They have to make sure they have the first run in this quarter to give themselves a good chance.
Well, they'll start with one of the most important parts of today. They need to get a stop here. Roy defending. Paxton with it. She'll kick it back out. Haynes drives inside on Psyche, kicks it to the corner. Long range 3. This one's up in the air. That one drops in again for the Rebels. They just can't miss at this point.
Oh, it's a great pass by Haynes just to find and Van in the corner. She hit her right in the shooting pocket, passing from under the hoop. That's one of the hardest passes in basketball, but absolutely nailed it.
Did it well. Hatch, she'll take a long range 2. That one drops in. 33-12, 21-point lead now. Haynes up the floor quickly. With the ball now, driving inside. Forced to pick up the dribble and kicks it back out. Another pass in the corner. This one up in the air, doesn't drop, but it's off Hatch's hand, and the Rebels keep possession.
Munns might have missed there, but as a coach, you're probably looking at that one going, we can't afford to give up looks like that on a regular basis. The Archers might have to change how they play their help defense.
Well, Bam passes it over. Munns, another shot. That one, again, left open on the catch and shoot. Psyche drives now. She's got Kang. Kang under pressure. She cuts inside. She's hit on the arm. We're going to have a foul on the Archers. Or, sorry, foul on the Rebels here. Archers to inbound.
Yeah, it looked like the Rebels just got themselves in the wrong position on their pick and roll coverage there. She saw a lane, and she just went for it.
Psyche to throw this one in. Doesn't have anyone open yet. She'll find Bunyan. Bunyan at the top. Drives in on her own. Goes up against two. Can't get the shot to drop. Quick transition here. Haynes with it. Haynes goes up strong. No contest. And she gets another easy layup. Another 2 easy points for the Rebels.
Oh, that speed in open court. That's very tough to stop. And we talked about defensive transition. So that's one of those ones where you push like that. You know, it's very, very difficult to stop.
Well, difficult shot there. Speaking of difficult for Psyche, she couldn't put that one up. Munns, another three. This one again rattles in. Holy cow, has she not missed at all?
And when you talk about identifying shooters, it doesn't take much identifying to see that Ashley Munns can shoot the ball. I think she's only missed once, and she just came straight back and she's hit 2 in a row. She is a shooter, and Archers have got to change something here.
Well, they'll get the chance here defensively. Haynes with it now. Psyche's on her. Switched over, drive inside, under pressure to kick it back out. Paxton a long-range three. That one won't drop, and Psyche gets the contested rebound.
So I think sometimes shots like that might fall, and you'd probably be okay with that, you know, contested shots, but it's the amount of uncontested shots that they seem to be giving up.
Bunyan's three. That one won't fall for the Archers.
That's a good look. They'll, you know, an open three for Izzy Bunyan. The Archers they'll be happy with that offense.
Now they've got to be happy with the defense here. Munns on Bunyan. Can't get that shot to drop. Archers take the rebound, driving up here. Kang with it. She'll pull back. The left hand pass to Hatch. Hatch open, long range two. That one falls. Shannon Hatch is really important for the Archers, averaging 18 points a game. She puts another 2 down.
Shannon Hatch in the pick and pop. It's not quite unstoppable, but it's remarkably close. She's just so good at just reverse pivoting, stepping back. She's got a great release.
Well, she's third in the WBBL with 18 points per game. Blocked up the floor. Psyche now looks to find Hatch again. This one blocked by Claire Paxton.
And nice little drop of pass from Psyche, and I think Shannon Hatch was not happy with the no call from the ref there. It didn't seem like Shannon Hatch to miss that layup.
Well, she missed that layup. Ashley Munns did not miss that three. Another three for Munns and the Rebels. She's up to 14 points now. We'll have a timeout here called. 43-14. Rebels with a massive lead. Still 6.5 minutes left to go, though, in the second quarter.
Essex have really caught fire. There's 7 of 12 from the three-point range. When a team is shooting over 50% from three, you're in an uphill battle. We know that Ashley Munns can shoot. That they'll be looking at strategies. Are they going to perhaps help less and be closer to shooters? You know, you might decide you want to help less, and that might leave the driving lanes open, but you're closer to shooters. You're going to not let Munns catch the ball. Steph Collins is going to have to throw something different out there because the Archers can't keep doing what they're doing. I wonder if she might be more concerned about the offensive end. To be honest, I think 14 points in 14 minutes is not even going to match what the Rebels are on now. So she needs to find something to change down this end. And I don't know, their spacing's a little bit funny. They're trying to run pick and rolls and people are posting up. There's so much to work with at both ends. I think sometimes you just got to pick one end to focus on. If you try and fix too much all the time, you're going to struggle to really make an impact. So if she just decides, right, let's work on the offensive end and we'll just keep trying on defense, maybe we'll see some different results, or lock in on the defensive end and hope the offense changes. Sometimes it's tough to do too much. Yeah.
Well, the Archers will get the inbound here. They'll look to start off with out of this timeout with some points. Jorgensen to bring it up the floor. She's under heavy pressure immediately from Haynes. Drops it off to Kang. Kang, she gets a switch. Kohlhaas on her back. Kang drives inside. Nice little spin. Just can't drop it in.
No, she did well to attack the hard hedge there. Kohlhaas came out hard on her, and she did well to escape and get herself going to the rim.
Well, Haynes now looking to set up another play. Gets a screen. She'll kick it back out. Waith now hands it off. Pass over. Haynes again, drives inside, tries to beat all three, and she does. lays it up against Shannon Hatch. Another 2 points for Megan Haynes.
That's a very tough finish under pressure with the weak hand. High off the backboard, drops it in perfectly. It's an excellent finish.
Really was. Jorgensen now looking to initiate the offense. She'll drive inside, cut back out. Kang, open three. This one up off the back iron. Hatch and Kohlhaas fight for it. We'll have a jump ball. Possession arrow for the Archers.
Another tough offense there for the Archers. They're trying to run a pick and roll, but they've sort of got players in the driving lanes and in the rolling lanes. They need to find a way to just open up the floor a little bit, like Essex have been doing.
Can't find the inbound. Kang goes back out to Jorgensen and Hatch to reset. She's up against Kohlhaas. Drives inside, tries to beat two. Great split, lays it up.
Yeah, Shannon Hatch, she's a sort of the modern stretch four. She can shoot, she can drive, she can defend, she can rebound, and she picks up plenty of steals. She's usually the key for the Archers here.
Well, 5 minutes, 22 seconds left in this second quarter. Kohlhaas on it now. Hatch guarding her. Sent over to Mbam. Mbam takes the pull-up three. That one won't drop, and Jorgensen collects the rebound.
Yeah, team rebounding is going to be massive. If you've got someone who's a key offensive rebounder, sometimes your job isn't to get the rebounds. You just got to get rid of them and hope someone else comes in to help.
This pass inside, knocked away. Hatch comes up with it. She'll take another long-range two. That one won't drop.
The Archers trying to run a flex offense there. Roy just looking for King inside for the layup. Just got the pass wrong, but I think the intent was nice. She gets that pass right. King should just be turning for a layup. It just didn't work out.
Well, Hatch gets the steal here. She'll drive down the floor, one-on-one against Kohlhaas. Goes up and just doesn't get it to drop, but made the good move.
Again, not happy with the ref there. Looked like she maybe just got clipped on the feet. Potentially just lost her footing.
Well, speaking of good footing, Roy there fakes out Waith, and she goes up strong and gets 2 points for the Archers. 45-18.
Gareth Roy's footwork in the post is every game it seems to be getting better and better, and she's got a really bright future.
Well, she really does. Sent over here, and Mbam now. She'll try to drive, forced to pull up. Sends it over to Haynes. Haynes coming inside against Warren. Kick back out. A little too strong. And we'll have a shot clock violation on the Rebels.
Some great defense from the Archers there. They're just switching on the handoffs and the pick and rolls, not getting themselves into any trouble unnecessarily. When you've got a relatively even spread of height and quickness across the team, sometimes just switching everything and trying to blunt the attack right at the ball is the best way to go. And some great switching there, just takes time off the clock. And as the clock runs down, then the offense has to get a little bit more desperate.
Well, we've got 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. Speaking of time, the Archers will need to get some points on the board soon in order to match what the Rebels have been doing so far. We've got a quick stoppage of play here. It got some games from the fans bleeding over just a little bit onto the court. All right, Jorgensen to inbound from the Archers here. They've made a substitution. Psyche has come on. Karis Roy has gone off, so the Archers going smaller this time.
Yeah, Archer's small ball is also a little bit different to Essex small ball in terms of Essex's small ball isn't very small because their guards are all quite big, whereas Archer's guards are generally quite small. So it's kind of it's a risky proposition.
Hatch's open three. That one goes up. That one falls in. That's something the Archers needed. 24-point lead for the Rebels now. Slowly starting to cut that down.
40% from three on the year for Shannon Hatch, and she can really struggle from outside. Also played plenty of Bucks basketball this year. And her catch and shoot and her pick and pop shots are just they're almost automatic at the moment. She's in great rhythm with her shot.
Well, she'll need to get more of them. Stolen away there. Warren had it in her hands, but just lost it. Taken away there. Carla Beeg Salazar now. Cross-court pass.
Some strong closeouts there, just exactly if you can get their closeout and then some great help as well. That's exactly probably what they talked about in the timeout. Can they get places? Can they just get there a little bit earlier and preempt it?
No look pass from Psyche. That was impressive. Hatch lays that one up, and she's got another 2 points. Good move there from Psyche. Nice to see in her first game here for the Archers.
She threw a couple of passes like that on Wednesday. She can really pass the ball, and you know the no look is not only flashy, but it is very effective. If you are faking the defense out by looking one way, generally defenses read your eyes. You generally throw the ball where you're looking. So for her to just be able to look away and drop it straight off in for the layup, and a nice finish for Shannon Hatch. And those are the sort of runs that Archers just have to stitch together just a little bit more. Can they go on a couple more 6-0 runs? So it doesn't even have to be a big 15-20 game-busting run. They've just got to chip away, chip away, chip away. There's still is it 23 minutes left of basketball. There's still plenty of time here.
Well, there really is, and the Archers, they're getting some open looks, they're getting some opportunities, just need to take advantage of them at this point. They've honestly played a lot better defensively in the last 5 minutes against the Rebels. That's led to this small run, and they'll hope to take another one. We still got 3 minutes left here in the second quarter, so they're hoping to take another small run into halftime, build from there, see what you can come out with.
Yeah, without trying to jinx them too much, they haven't turned the ball over this quarter, and I think that is massive. If you are making sure that every single possession at least finishes with you get with shooting the ball, then you feel a little bit better about, okay, fine, we're starting to create opportunities now. How can we turn those opportunities into the opportunities we want? And sort of that phase-by-phase approach. They've really turned it up just a little bit here. They show they can compete here. They've just got to string it together now for long periods of time.
Well, Kohlhaas guarded by Kang here. Sent back, worked around the top. Waith hands it off. Freeman now. Tight guarding from the Archers. Waith drives inside. Hatch up against her, but Waith drops that one in.
Waith's got some good length there, so she just gets to her spot and then just rises up over the top. And then, Shannon Hatch isn't going to be able to give 100% on every single defensive possession while also carrying such a heavy offensive workload.
Yeah. Pass to the top here. Levi Warren now. Takes a three, but she's left pretty far open. Psyche now, she'll take her own three. That one laid up and in.
There we are, Lauren Psyche putting her full offensive skills on display.
Hatch putting her defensive skills on display. Passes that over. Psyche again, just can't get that one to fall. Kang tries to save it, just can't quite do it. Archer's got a steal, just couldn't capitalize.
We can see the energy's really changed there. People hustling after loose balls. We can see the bench getting into it. It's I'd say that's a pretty great 25 seconds from the Archers there. And it's just a small microcosm of how they can play.
Absolutely. Well, passed around here, sent back inside. Costa now on the double team. She tries to go up. Looks like she elbowed Levi Warren in the face. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, they look to be talking about the no charge circle, but I think when it comes to that sort of offensive foul, perfectly fair.
Yeah.
She was in a roughly regarded position, but you've got to make sure that you keep your elbows in your cylinder, and that's some great defense, really.
Probably a bit tough for Costa to avoid down low. She's got such a height advantage on everyone on the Archers team. Hatch inbounds this now. Jorgensen to bring it up the floor.
A bit of pressure from the Rebels just to try and disrupt the rhythm of the Archers there.
Kang now. She'll try to drive inside. Takes her steps, puts it back out. Jorgensen, Psyche, elects not to shoot it, and they'll pass it over. Warren tries to cut inside. She's bumped out of bounds. Kang now, long range three, jacks it up. Doesn't hit anything.
Shot clock running down. They found themselves under a little bit of pressure there. Again, that's back to sort of their old bad offenses there, where they're struggling for spacing, and whatever actions they run, they can't effectively utilize them with their own teammates sort of clogging the lanes.
This one passed over. Kohlhaas, she gets an open three, lays that one in, swishes nicely down. 3 points for the Rebels.
It's almost a set play for the Rebels by this point. They know the Archers are fronting the post, so they just bring everyone apart from one player over and just force that one defender to have a long closeout in either direction.
Doesn't seem to matter who it is either. Everyone on the Rebels is able to shoot today. That three up in the air from Jorgensen just gets caught between the rim and the corner of the glass. And Waith with the athletic jump knocked that one out.
We've got a wedgie. These molten balls, they're a little bit soft sometimes, so they're the first wedgie that I've seen this season.
I haven't heard it called a wedgie before.
Shout out to No Dunks.
Inbounded quickly, Waith driving it up the floor now. Rebels not tiring. They've really just run their offense quickly. Kohlhaas sent over. Waith pumps. She'll pull up from two. Rolls it off the glass, doesn't fall in.
Those are the sort of shots that as a defense you're happy to give up.
Warren, she'll take her own long range two. That one off the glass, spins out though. And Kohlhaas with the rebound. Contested, but she got away with it. Pass sent inside quickly. Waith forced to send it back out. Sent over to Freeman. Freeman looking to drive, beats three, and lays it off the glass easily. Easy 2 points.
Yeah, that all came from their defensive transition there. They weren't active and ready.
End of the second quarter, three thrown up by Psyche, doesn't drop. And the Archers in trouble now, 52-26. The Rebels have doubled what the Archers have done so far.
Yeah, I think as a coach here, you're looking at the scoreboard, and every time that there's again that psychological thing of, right, they've doubled us up here. We've got a real big uphill battle in that even if they were to do nothing, you would still, as you're playing, struggle to get there. So there's going to have to be probably some big changes here for the Archers. Obviously, they can't totally change how they play. When you think of your style of play at the start of the season and you develop it across the season, you are committing to that through good and bad. So your processes have to be adaptable enough that you can take a situation like this and go, right, let's do this and this, but we've practiced this and this. They are going to have to change something. I think they're going to probably have to change the way that they play down in the post and maybe let Costa play 1v1 a bit more. Or they might have to, change a couple of them. Maybe they have to play a zone, even though Essex are good at shooting. They have to change something because at the moment they're on course to give up 104 points. And the Archers are not a team who want to be playing those games. They want to be playing 70 to 60, 65 to 55. They don't want to be playing 104 plays 80.
Yeah. Well, really, there are plenty of stats that show the Rebels' advantage this half, but honestly, the key one, Rebels shooting 56% from the floor, 55 from 2, and 57 from 3. That's unsustainable if you're the Archers. So they'll hope this next half not only to improve their defense and get some shots to miss from the Rebels, but also they need to put some points of their own on the board. Shannon Hatch has had some opportunities. She's taken advantage of some of them. At the end of the half, she comes away with 13 points for the Archers, nobody else above 4 on the board. That's got to change. She'll need some help from the rest of the team.
When one player's got half your points, they're either having the game of their life or they need help. And then today they need help. No, Shannon, when you put Shannon in the right situations, when you put her in pick and pop, when you put her as a spot-up shooter for her set plays, then she's fantastic. But you need to make sure that the teammates are clearing the way and they get their spacing sorted. I think people are floating around in a few random places. They need to find a way to just space the floor a bit and then give drivers like King, Bunyan, Jorgensen, Psyche some room to move.
Well, the offense has definitely been clogged up inside for the Archers so far. We'll see what changes they make coming out into the second half here. Rebels will just be looking to take and keep what they've been doing so far. They've just had a great team performance all around. Obviously, Ashley Munns with the highlight. She's got 14 points so far, 4 of 6 from 3, and she's also shooting 5 of 7 from the rest of the floor. She just has been able to get pretty much any shot she wants, and anything she puts up, it's going down. The rest of the team, though, has done a good job of supporting. Plenty of players with plenty of points. Lou Costa with 9, Andrea Kohlhaas 6, and Megan Haynes and D'Angelique Waith both have 6 as well. Just unsustainable for the Archers to let so many people get all the points they want. And then another advantage for the Rebels so far has been their 26 rebounds. They're out-rebounding the Archers 26-15, partially due to the height advantage, but also the energy and hustle. They've really just taken advantage of the boards today.
Yeah, the Archers they've done a good job keeping them off the offensive glass. They can take some happiness out of that. They've only had 3 offensive rebounds, and one of those is a team rebound, so that goes out of bounds anyway. But they've got to be looking to sort of maybe attack the offensive glass themselves a little bit more, try and bring down those defensive rebound numbers. If you only ever have one shot every single possession, you'll struggle to pick up the easy ones just around the hoop that have a little bit of momentum generating for you.
Great. Well, we'll send this over now. We're going to have our reporter, Blake. He'll come up here for the halftime. We'll have him do a little halftime report here for us.
To the Essex Rebels, and they have been quite dominant so far in this game, and now as we can see the score is now 52-26. It's been a real struggle for Cardiff Met so far. We're trying to see them now starting to come into their gear a bit, but Essex Rebels have certainly started the game the far better. It seems to be that Cardiff Met are just struggling to get their points going at the minute. They're not really making the buckets. Perhaps it could be down to a very impressive defensive display from the Essex Rebels, and it really does seem now that the Cardiff Met team really needs to improve coming into this second half. Just joining me now as we're just getting Atticus Pede ready into the studio. Here he is now. We're going to get some expert analysis onto this game. Atticus, tell us what has been so successful for the Essex Rebels so far. Why have they been so dominant in this game?
Well, a lot of reasons. Really, though, the main thing for the Rebels, open looks, and they've managed to drain all of them. Just everything they put up is going down at an insanely high rate. When you're shooting 56% from the floor, that's pretty dominant. There are not many teams that can do that at all. And this kind of pace they're pushing as well. Not only are they putting these shots down, but they're going at such a pace, the Archers just can't keep up. So Cardiff Met normally score about 60 points per game, 60, 61. Rebels average about 75. Obviously, both teams, the Rebels are looking like they're going to surpass that. In order for Cardiff Met to come back in this game, they've got to stop the bleeding with all these points. They need to stop the Rebels and limit them to a quarter. Get a quarter of 10 points, 12, and then come back on your own. They just need some better defense and start from there.
Yeah, so as you said, Essex Rebels have been well known for their scoring ability. I spoke with Tom at the start of the game, and we know that they have capability of turning up the gear. However, do you think that they've already maybe exhausted their best gear yet, or can we expect even more for the Essex Rebels?
Well, the Rebels are renowned for it. One of the things they've done really well is starting, like you mentioned, Blake. They start the quarters, they start the games really well, and then because they go at such a high energy, sometimes that can tail off. And so I don't know if that will be the case today. One of the great things about this high energy approach is when your shots go down like this, it's just a lot of fun for everyone. They look like they're having a ton of fun out there. You look at their bench, everyone's cheering. I've seen some great celebrations. Everyone's into this game. They all know they're doing a great job. They're going to want to stick with it. What's going to stop them are, they need, of course, Cardiff Met need to play some better defense, play more physical, keep the Rebels from dropping so many open threes. But if the Rebels start to miss a few shots, that might creep in a little bit, and they might get a little bit lax, and Cardiff Met can start to come back there. That, I think, is, if I'm the Archers, that's what I'm looking for. Make the Rebels miss a few shots, try to get your own energy to go on top of them, and see what you can come up with from there. Just give it a try.
Yeah, as we've seen, just like the 2-minute mark, we had a timeout, and you could just see Kimberly King. She just increased the intensity a bit. The aggression was there. You'd see that Cardiff Met really reacted well from that timeout.
Yeah.
That sort of team talk was perhaps a sign that we can expect and an increase in intensity from the Cardiff Met side, like you said.
That's what they'll hope for, especially coming out of the break here. There are all kinds of things you can change tactically. Tom's mentioned a bunch of them for what the Archers can and may need to do, especially limiting points inside, limiting open looks. There are plenty of things the Archers can do, but those can really cause a lot of problems in your head. You're thinking about so many things you have to do and change because the first half wasn't good enough. I wouldn't worry about that as much at this point. Just go out, go play, do the best you can, try to stop what you can, and just get going. That scoreboard's not great. We all know that. But you get a few good plays, you get some confidence back in you if you're the Archers, things can go well. This game's not over. You really can come back, especially at home with the kind of energy you mentioned, Blake. The Archers still have a chance. They just need to get on top of it, do the best they can, play their game, and give it a shot.
Yeah, we know at this level it is very possible that anything can happen. We know the quality that Cardiff Met have in possession. We also know that Essex Rebels perhaps could maintain this energy or perhaps could even plateau. We are expecting just as good as the second half as the first. But in terms of, like you said, you mentioned the tactics, is there anything in particular that Steph Collins, the team manager, will want the players to start trying a bit more? It does seem that they are a bit lax of ideas coming close to the bucket. Is there anything in particular do you think that Steph's told them to do?
Well, something that Tom mentioned is the Rebels are trying to go so quickly that the Archers, they're struggling to keep up, and they're struggling to choose between taking out the inside lanes for the Rebels or shutting down the perimeter open threes. The Archers have decided to clog the interior and not let people like Lou Costa take over the game. But by doing so, you're letting Ashley Munns, she's getting all the shots she wants. Andrea Kohlhaas, she's had plenty of threes as well. I think at this point, you've got to go one-on-one inside. You've got to trust you can take advantage of some interior defense and just play one-on-one with everybody. Do the best you can. There's too many open looks out there, and you've got to try something different. It's not like it's a bad choice to do that. But if you're the Archers, you just got to trust you can play defense. You can win one-on-one matchups as best you can. That's really all you can do.
And just in terms of the sort of decision-making going forwards as well, do you think that needs to be improved a bit more? You know, we have seen a very good start from the Essex Rebels. However, do you think that it takes a bit more patience in terms of how Cardiff Met Archers approach the second half? Is it something that they need to psychologically adapt to going forwards, or do you think it's simply react from this scoreline deficit and go from there?
I think, look, everyone wants to win this game. Everyone wants to do their absolute best, of course. I wouldn't worry too much about the emotional response. Everyone's going to want to do well. Everybody on this team wants to do their best. They know they can do it, too, especially with the new additions this year. Psyche's first game, Jorgensen's first game back. The Archers can do it. They just need to buckle down, get some good stops, get some things going. They can do it.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier as well, they do play against our Essex Rebels again next week, and also we know that anything can happen in this second half. We're just going to start wrapping things up now as we can see the players have come back onto the court. I'm going to let Atticus Pede join Tom Guntrip in the commentary booth in just a moment, but just before you go, what do you think is the last thing that Steph Collins would have told the players that they need to really focus on right now?
I think more than anything, just go out there and play your best, have some fun, get some stops, just do the best you can. Honestly, just do the best you can. I think it's so easy to get in your head and say, okay, we're going to do everything a certain way, and then once one or two things go wrong, so many holes can drop in your plan, and you just feel that things aren't going your way. I wouldn't worry about that at this point. In order for the Archers to do well, just make everything go your way. Just do the best you can, make it work, you'll be fine.
All right, thank you very much for that, Atticus.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here for the start of the third quarter between the Essex Rebels and the Cardiff Met Archers. As we come out of the halftime break, the Rebels have the 52-26 lead, doubling up the Archers' scoreline. Tom, what are you looking for at the start of the second half from the Archers first?
I think from the offensive perspective, they need to find a way to open things up there. 26 points in 20 minutes isn't good enough at this level. They need to find a way to open things up, create some lanes for their best players. Sometimes you need to go back to basics and just get the ball in your best player's hands or your two best players' hands and keep everyone else out of the way. And defensively, they have to pick a strategy. I think they're trying to do a little bit of everything. So do they want to stop inside? Do they want to stop threes? What do they want to do? Pick it and then work around it. But at the moment, they're trying to do a bit of everything. And their defense is predictable enough that it's being torn apart by the Rebels, really. The Rebels are just going, well, we know what they're going to do, so we're just going to do this small, simple thing. Bang, bang, bang. And as we can see, 8 threes. It shows that the Rebels are really taking advantage of the Archers' defensive game plan.
They absolutely have to start the game, obviously. Now the Rebels looking to come out, they're looking to stay on top, keep the high energy they've had so far this game, not give the Cardiff Met Archers a chance to come back. Archers, though, to start with the ball here. We'll see what they can come up with. Start of this third quarter. Jorgensen looking to inbound to Lauren Psyche to start this quarter off. This is Psyche's first game as an Archer. She'll pass it over to Hatch to start. Top Warren, she fakes, back to Hatch. Hatch rolls it around. Bunyan now. Psyche looking for three, she won't take it. Warren, she'll come inside. Warren throws the shot up. Jorgensen gets the rebound. Psyche, long range three, this one's up. Ooh, doesn't drop.
Yeah, a lot of contact on the layup there, but I think you can be reasonably happy with that start. Ball moved quite well.
Rebels take an early three, they don't get that, but they get the offensive rebound, tipped out by Salazar to Munns. Long range shot here, long range two, that one rolls in nicely under no pressure.
Yeah, Costa's easily got that 18-footer in her locker as just a step in three. That was almost like a practice shot for her.
Well, Hatch will try the same distance from the other end. She knocks that one down.
Yeah, and then I think that's another practice shot for Shannon Hatch, because she's been doing that 15 times a game in Bucks games, and yeah, she's in a great rhythm so far today.
Well, Freeman with it now. She's over to Costa, swinging the ball around the perimeter. Rolls it over to Munns. Munns looking for the cross-court pass. She's got it. Kohlhaas has to jump for it, though. Hands it off. Freeman drives inside against two, lays it high off the glass, and that one drops in cleanly.
Yeah, some miscommunication there from the Archers. Were they switching that handoff? Were they staying? An easy lane for Freeman.
Too many easy buckets given away, part of this game. Foul there called on Andrea Kohlhaas. She fouls Sarah Jorgensen on the reach. And the Archers will inbound this ball after that foul.
Yeah, the defensive pressure there. They're hard hedging on that, so they're trying to really stop the ball handler, and she almost got away with it there.
Jorgensen passes it over. Psyche with it now, looking to find somebody near her. She's got Hatch in the corner, sends it over to Hatch, long range two, bounces up and off the glass twice and doesn't drop. Up the floor now, Tia Freeman with it. Knocked away by Bunyan. Bunyan's got a steal.
Psyche with it, looking to drive up the court quickly. Long-range pass, a little too far, but Warren does knock it off Costa, and that'll be an Archer ball.
That's a great look ahead from Psyche. You know, that sort of pitch ahead in transition, but on a straight line as well is a really difficult pass to judge how much power to put on it. So the fact that Warren was able to get a hand to it, I think it's a great pass and not the pass that many archers are capable of making.
Well, Jorgensen comes out with a 3 out of that inbound. Doesn't get it to drop, but got an open look there. We've seen a few instances of Psyche's good passing so far to start this game. Freeman comes inside, off the rim. Bunyan had a good contest.
Yeah, Freeman not happy with that, but it looks like it was a good block by Bunyan.
Bunyan drives inside, loses the handle though. Went up a little too strong against 3 Rebel players. Long range 3, stops, picks, shot, and that's an air ball.
As the game's getting a little bit scrappy there. I think that will probably favour the Essex Rebels. When games get scrappy, generally the bigger team comes out on top, and they've certainly got the height advantage.
Driving down the floor now, Sarah Jorgensen, her first game back this year for the Archers. Psyche on the ball now. Bunyan looking for somebody near her. She tries to go to Hatch. Hatch inside, splits the defense, rolls off the iron, and that one's in. Another 2 points for Hatch inside.
Yeah, so again, some patient play by the Archers, and I think that's the thing. If you want to get back in a game, you don't have to score all 25 points at once. You have time to create those tiny runs that stack up.
Munns' 3, that doesn't drop, but Kohlhaas with the strong rebound. Costa tries to get the second, she won't. Archers come away with it, get out of that one. Yeah, Jorgensen.
I think they got away with that there. That wasn't really the required effort on the defensive rebounding there. They just sort of stood and watched and prayed that someone would fumble the ball. No one really showed that desire to just go get it.
Well, they got away with that one, luckily. Archers to inbound this ball here. Ashley Munns tipped it out of bounds. Psyche sends it into Hatch. Psyche again. Cuts inside, gets the screen from Hatch, lays that one up. Doesn't drop, but another open look.
And she's showing the ability to get into the key and then either create for others, and she went for the floater there.
Munns long range 3, that one won't fall, but she's fouled. Fouled by Issy Bunyan. That's gonna be 3 shots for the Rebels.
Again, it's not the first 3-point shooting foul of the day for the Archers. They really have to be more careful. Just clipped again while she was looking to land. Again, these are the sort of fouls that when you're the Archers and you're down by 26, you really need to be avoiding.
Well, Munns here to take her 3 shots. This first one up, that one swished through. Done really well with her free throws on the year, about an 85% shooter. Second one also goes in nicely.
When you foul a good shooter like that, not only are they obviously very good at free throws, but when a really good 3-point shooter gets to see the ball go through the hoop off their shooting technique, manage to put the mockers on her there. And when a good shooter sees the ball go through the hoop, they'll feel better about their next threes as well. So it's not just that play that it impacts the rest of the plays going forwards.
Well, Kang drives inside. She goes up on a strong layup. She's knocked down. We're gonna get 2 shots here.
And when Kim Kang started at Cardiff Met, she was more of just a pure shooter, but she's really added that sort of slashing, driving game to her repertoire now, and she's capable of getting inside and finishing, and her spin moves are rapid.
She's had a couple instances of those spins this game. We've got a sub here for the Archers. Sarah Wagstaff coming in for Sarah Jorgensen. Archers looking to get a little more height on the floor. Well, Kang here to take her 2 free throws. That first one falls in. 58-31, 27-point lead for the Rebels here. Kang looking to cut it down to 26. Rattles in and out, but Hatch gets the offensive rebound. She'll send it back to Psyche. Psyche's long range 3, that one up, that one swishes in nicely. 3 points for the Archers that they desperately need.
Yeah, you've got to pick up those second chance points. We talk about, sometimes when you're coaching, you talk about junk points. And while it's not quite junk points, those are the ones that you don't sort of design for, but you really need to get.
A strong close out here from the Archers. Munns looking to drive inside. She's got a switch. Psyche hacks her hand on the way up. That one drops, and Munns is going to get an and 1 after that.
Yeah, Psyche not happy about that.
Looks like she did catch her, though, on the way up.
It's always a risk when you aren't in a typical guarding position, or you go put hands near the ball or attempt to get the ball. There's always a risk of the referee seeing it, and sometimes when you referee, they sort of referee patterns and a little bit on sort of this is likely to be a foul coming soon when you go to do something like that.
That definitely hurt the Archers there. Hatch, she'll take the long range 2. That one drops. Again, right from her preferred position. Another 2 points for her.
Rebels are capable of scoring, but they just need to find a way to slow down the Rebels. They've got to string together some stops here, because the Rebels just seem to be scoring almost at will.
Kohlhaas now. Hatch guards. Kohlhaas gets the switch she wants. Comes inside. Strong layup. Doesn't get it. Hatch with the rebound. Psyche now looking to push it. She's forced to stop. Tries to send an in pass to Hatch, and that's stolen away.
It's a risky pass, like we talked earlier about Jorgensen's sort of home run passes. It's either a layup or it's a turnover live ball going the other way. And it's about that risk-reward balance.
Salazar drives inside. Not under a ton of pressure, but her layup's too strong. Psyche now finds Kang. Wagstaff with it. She'll go back to Psyche. Looking for the screen from Hatch. She'll get it. But sends it over to Warren. Hatch now looking to get inside. Turnaround Jay puts it in.
Over the double team. It's a strong finish from Hatch. And that's a more typical setup on offense. Someone in the corner, a pick and roll or a pick and pop, and a couple of people on the weak side.
Foul here called on Hatch on the way up. We're going to have 2 shots here on a blocking foul. Tia Freeman will take these 2. Don't think a lot of people in the arena liked that one.
No, but I'm re-watching it there, and I can see that call. She wasn't quite in front, leading with the shoulder a bit. And when you get, like was just said, when you get stuck in a position like that, it's a very easy one for a referee to look at and go, I've got to call some fouls, and that is one.
Freeman's first 3 throw, off both ends of the iron, and comes back out.
And Tia Freeman, formerly of Oakland's Wolves and Nottingham Wildcats. So she's got experience in this league. She knows how to play.
Her second one drops up and in. Done a good job ball handling this game. She'll check out of the game. DeAngelique Waith will come in to replace her. Kang sends it back to Hatch. We'll send it over to Wagstaff. Looking to initiate something here. Finds a cut inside. Hatch with it. Turnaround. That's the same shot she hit a few seconds ago, but just couldn't put that one through.
I think showing potential signs of fatigue there. She just didn't really have many legs on that, or was able to release properly.
Waith now tries to go up strong. Lemoyne gets it back, and that's knocked away. Hatch with it. Sends it up to Kang. Kang looking to press the 4-on-3 advantage. Jorgensen, though, slows it down.
Yeah, they've just got that transition lanes wrong there, but it's a great defensive effort there to get that block and then move the ball on.
Pretty good play resulting from it. Kang got the screen there from Shannon Hatch, got the open 2, took it, and dropped it in. Stabbed away there by Wagstaff. Won't keep hold of it. Out of play. Rebels will take possession of this one again.
The Archers have made a small dent, probably not enough of a dent that they'd be hoping for, but they are showing more now than they did in the first half, that's for sure.
It's down to a 22-point lead here as we come to the final minutes of the third quarter. Strong layup goes up, doesn't drop in. Waith, though, excellent rebound. Munns, open 3, off the front iron. She gets her own rebound, fights with Lemoyne for it. It looks like they're going to call a jump on that one.
Yeah, Munns isn't going to miss many, but again, watching the offensive rebound rather than actively getting rid of it and other people coming in to help. That's one of those possessions there where I think if I'm Steph Collins, I'm feeling like maybe we got away with it there.
It certainly did. Inbound to come here from Andrea Kohlhaas. She gets Paxton on the runner inside. Paxton easily lays that one in.
Far too easy out of bounds play to have a layup like that. Those are the sort of ones that drive you insane, because that just means people weren't switched on, and there's no excuse to not be switched on in the game of basketball.
Yeah, too many freebies given up here. Karis Roy with it now, recently checked into the game. Wagstaff looking to get the screen. Not much time left on the clock. Sent inside. Roy tries to go up. Odd-looking layup. Doesn't go in.
That's a really nice example of sort of using a bridge pass to attack in the pick and roll. Lemoyne lifted out. That creates just that different angle of the pass for the rolling Roy there. So while it didn't go in, I think it's a sort of really good process there that the Archers should be looking maybe to do a little bit more of.
They'll need to get the ball back first here. Let's play some good defense. Megan Haynes now. Roy's guarding her. Haynes on the perimeter, tries to go back and forth. Goes up, ball knocked away by Jorgensen. Is sent to the top. Paxton, open three. That one up, doesn't fall. Ball knocked around, and Celine Lemoyne comes away with it.
Yeah, a bit more of a team rebounding after there. So, you know, one of them boxing out and then two of them going after the ball. That's all it takes is just one or two more people to come in, and you should be able to come up with it.
Off that rebound, Wagstaff gets it over to Roy. Roy in the corner. 6 to go on the clock. Sent over to Jorgensen. She'll need to do something quick. Drives inside, tries to beat everybody there. Lays it off the rim, and that's recovered for an offensive rebound and laying in. 2 points for the Archers.
Yeah, Archers really struggling for a bit of offensive flow there. They weren't really sure where they were supposed to be. So great job by Lemoyne just collecting that rebound after the ball had already hit the rim and the shot clock buzzer goes off. So, you know, she was well within her rights to just go grab it and put it in, and that's a really, really valuable 2 points.
Munn's trying to get a valuable three, and she does. Knocks in another one. That's her 5th of the game.
She's got a hand right in her face there. I don't think you can really get too much closer without being called for another foul by these refs. So sometimes shooters are just too hot.
That's certainly been the case here. Ball sent inside now. Roy kicks it back out. Jorgensen with it, looking to get some space. She loses the handle, though, on the pass. Paxton now driving inside, 1-on-2, gets it over to Munns. Munns can't drop the layup, gets her own rebound. She'll pull it out to the corner, kick back out. Kohlhaas, long range three, that one's up, doesn't fall. Waite, easy rebound. Doesn't get that one either.
Yeah, the Archers getting away with it there, giving up layups and really not playing with that sort of energy or zest required to try and get back in this game. They need to find another gear here. Even if they're not playing well, they still need to play with a little bit higher tempo.
Roy tries to come inside, can't go up strong. She'll lose the handle, ball drops out of play. Rebels will get possession of that one after the turnover. Only 9 turnovers for the Archers today. They really haven't had too many, especially compared to the 29 last week against Newcastle, but just haven't been able to take advantage and get some good possessions offensively.
And it's a big sort of 70 seconds or so in terms of the team's processes. Can they finish these 70 seconds with some defensive energy, a couple of stops, maybe a couple of easy scores? So, you know, sometimes you might not think you've got much of a chance, but you need to, you know, keep playing with the way you want to be playing when things are going well as well.
The Rebels are the ones playing the way they want right now after that layup from Megan Haynes. Roy's got the ball. She'll send it over. Lemoyne, long range three. That one goes up. That one bounces off. Almost recovered by the Archers. They'll keep possession, though, here. Knocked out a play by the Rebels. Kang looks to send this one in. She's got Roy. She'll find her. Goes back to Kang. Kang splits the D. Layup, though, doesn't hit the rim.
I think it's a good shot. That's the ones that kind of need to fall. But again, your coach, you're like, yeah, we just generated a layup out of that out of bounds play. We're fine with that.
Well, that long range three, that's airballed by D'Angelique Waite, but she was pretty far open. That's a look they'll take. I don't think they'll be too concerned with a 27-point lead either.
Waite's main strength isn't her three-point shooting, but she certainly added it to her game last year. And if she's open, she's got permission to let it go.
For Jorgensen now, looking for space. She's got a screen from Roy, doesn't get it though. Tries to cut inside, loses the handle, hit by Megan Haynes. That'll be a foul on the Rebels.
Again, they are just struggling with spacing. They just don't seem to be able to go anywhere, and I think that's partially a product of their own offense, but also the Essex defense is just swarming them. They're not able to get anything that they want, and they really have to work hard just to get the ball inside the three-point line.
They really have. We'll see if they can come up with anything better here. This ball sent in. Roy's got it. Roy turns quickly to go inside, loses it on the way up, but that'll be Archer ball. Knocked out a play by the Rebels there.
Yeah, sharp little turn, and she just couldn't get the layup to finish.
Sent to the back, goes to Roy again, a little too far. Roy's got it, not much time left, 5 seconds on the clock. Kang now looks for space. She'll turn, tries to come inside, throws up a wild one. Off the rim, no good. So we come to the end of the third quarter here. Rebels have a huge lead, 69-42, a 27-point advantage at this point as we come to the break between the third and the fourth.
Ashley Munns has 22 points in 23 minutes. And when you do your pre-game scan reports, you obviously have a look. You go, she's leading the team in scoring. You know, she's scorching from downtown, and she's averaging less than 1 assist a game. So how do you maybe try and turn it into a playmaker? So we were talking earlier about roles you're not comfortable with. You also have to try and do that to the opposition. So can you force sort of shooters to be playmakers and playmakers to be shooters? And Essex have been able to basically play how they want to play. They didn't score too much in that quarter, but also it's not troubling them at all. They're just sort of going around there, running what sets they want to run. They also just made some changes. It's not as easy for Essex to post up. They've been a little bit better at containing on the perimeter, but fundamentally they're not putting Essex under much pressure at all. It's not like Essex are having to scrap to maintain this lead. It looks like they're just going to cruise through to the finish here unless the Archers can pull off something remarkable.
Really does. The Archers did come out with some better defensive effort that quarter, and they managed to get some more stops. The Rebels have dropped their shooting percentage down to 46% and to just, quote unquote just, 40% from 3. But it's something, it's some progress. Now, the Archers just weren't able to get many points out of that quarter, and, well, here stands the 27-point lead. We'll see what they can do as they try to end this game strong. Archers looking to take away something positive from this game, even in this loss.
So I think something when you're a coach in this situation, you're not saying the game is done, but you say to your team that until the buzzer sounds and the scoreboard says 0-0-0-0, you have to keep playing as if you can win. There's a sort of, it's the mentality of how to play, and I think that's what the great teams are always playing. Like, even when they're down, they're still going for it, going for it, going for it, and that's something that the Archers need to learn if they want to sort of slip from that just outside the playoffs to just inside the playoffs area.
Well, as we start the fourth here, Shannon Hatch of the Archers to inbound this one.
The Archers have got quite a tall lineup, so perhaps they'll look to play a little bit sort of more aggressive defense perhaps and try and suffocate Essex a little bit. You can see Essex have come out of the zone.
Wagstaff with it. She goes to Jorgensen. Ball cycled around. Lemoyne takes it inside. She'll throw it back out. Nobody there. That's an easy turnover. Rebels driving quickly. Haynes jumps it, collects, sent over, switch to the far side, drives inside, Munns pulls up for 2, can't drop it, but Waith gets the rebound. She's still got the ball, battling for it, on the floor. It looks like that's out of bounds.
That's a really good bit of hustle by both Munns and Waith there. Obviously, Waith not quite happy with maybe how the Archers defended that, but again, as a coach, you cannot fault the effort to keep scrapping for that ball, even when you're up 27.
Rebels have to be pleased with what they've seen so far. Wagstaff bringing it up the floor. Comes back to her.
And Essex still in that sort of 2-3 zone. Some good ball movement there. They've got to try and move the ball a little bit faster to break it apart.
Offensive rebound there from Hatch. That won't fall, but it was close. Jorgensen, long range 2, still doesn't go. Another offensive board, though. Wagstaff now sends it over to Hatch. Hatch kicks back to her, sent inside. Hatch, open, long range, just doesn't fall.
Yeah, and so there was that quicker ball movement. Once you've started to break down a bit of the zone, then they're going to struggle to keep up. But one of the weaknesses of a zone is the rebounding situation. Because you're not responsible for a person, you're just responsible for an area. You don't necessarily know who you're supposed to be boxing out. So when you're playing against the zone, you've really got to be looking to crash the boards and try and sort of take advantage of that.
Well, Karis Roy's long range 3, that one won't fall, but the Archers get another board, like you mentioned. Wagstaff now checks it over. Hatch, 2, that one falls.
I've got a feeling here that Essex will keep playing with their 2-2 zone. They're going to feel comfortable enough in their lead that they need to work on it. And that should work to the Archers' advantage in terms of, I think the Archers' offense will be better against the zone than the zone defense will be against their offense. So they'll help them feel a little bit more comfortable and generate a little bit more rhythm for the rest of the game.
Well, Karis Roy fighting against Lou Costa inside. Costa goes up strong, takes her right to the rim, and lays that one up for another 2. 71-44, Rebels with the big lead, 27 points so far.
Yeah, like I said, Costa's she's one of the toughest guards in the league. No one wants to face her, and Karis Roy doing her very best there, and still not enough. It just showcases Costa's ability in the post. She just worked, good footwork, and she basically generates the exact shot she wants.
Pretty dominant performance from Costa inside. I'd be scared to defend her myself. No, thank you. The Rebels have done well all around and managed to have 8 steals today. They've just taken advantage of every opportunity they've been given. Out in transition, they've done well with their fast offense, fast attacks. Cardiff Met just haven't been able to keep up, really. That's really been the story of this game. 71 points for the Rebels, 44 for the Archers. Some miscues from the Archers on defense and on offense, but really, they just haven't been able to keep up with the Rebels so far.
Shannon Hatch has 23 of the Archers' 44 points. She's taken just a third of the shots. It shows how productive she's been, and she's just missed a couple of potentially easy ones, but she's got 23 points and 10 rebounds, and she seems to be fighting a little bit of a lone battle almost out there.
Well, she'll look to inbound it here. Sarah Jorgensen's back to bring it up. Looking to drive up the floor quickly. She's under heavy pressure from Megan Haynes, though. Hands that one off. Lemoyne now, with her back to the basket, tries to come inside, drops the pass on the floor, out to Karis Roy, lays that one strong off the glass. That's a good 2 points.
Yeah, really nice move there. Just patient dribble, work your way towards the middle, and a really nice cut. Great pass, great finish. Just some really nice basketball from the Archers there.
Well, another good move here from the Rebels. They got it inside the D'Angelique Waith, just couldn't finish it. Jorgensen to bring it up the floor. She finds Wagstaff, quick kick. Roy with it now. Looks like she was hit on the way up.
I think both teams managed to feel aggrieved with what just happened there.
To inbound, Jorgensen finds Hatch. Top of the arc. Jorgensen looking for space. Munn's guarding. Open 3 here from Karis Roy. She puts that one up. That one falls in. That's a big 3 for her. 71-49. Archer's cutting this down a little bit.
She missed her first one quite badly, and that can sometimes discourage someone, so it's really great to see her just take her time and just knock it down.
Pass kicked out. Munns, she fakes. She cuts inside. Middle range 2. Doesn't drop. Karis Roy, she's got the ball on the deck. Bounced away. Looks like it's going to be Rebel ball.
There's a lot of people on the deck there. That's good. So I think it's just showing again, you know, it's that a 22-point lead for the Rebels, and they're still flying after it. And Archer's down 22, and they're still flying after it. And I think both coaches, again, you can't fault the effort that they're putting out there.
Yeah.
In terms of it's not like they've given up and laid down. So sometimes it's just not working, but they are still desperate to get the ball for their team.
The Rebels have definitely done well with that. Haynes cuts inside. She drops that pass off to Costa. A rare miss, but D'Angelique Waith cleans it up, puts in her own board.
Again, Haynes' speed, just getting into the lane, she's almost uncontainable in there, and that's also then forcing the help rotation. So then the offensive rebounders like Costa and Waith are then going up against slightly smaller players where they've also got positioning and size, and that's a really big advantage. If you've got a guard like that, you will see better offensive rebounding numbers.
Well, you just saw a great play there from Megan Haynes. Another deep pass, strong pass to Ashley Munns. Easy layup.
And when you're down by many, you don't want to give up those sort of simple ones in transition. You really want them to have to work much harder.
Just didn't quite come off there, though. Jorgensen with it now, trying to find space inside. She'll go back. Roy sends it to Wagstaff. She'll take a long-range 3. That one doesn't drop, but Hatch gets the rebound. She can't put it in either. Waith comes away with it.
Yeah, Hatch really starting to look fatigued there. The Archers' offense there, again, trying to run that flex one, is just a little bit slow and clunky. You know, if each action takes a bit too long, it's quite easy for the defense to just adjust. Whereas if they can get them going with a bit more speed, then they'll find it a little bit harder to react.
With that one out of play, Megan Haynes touched it while out of bounds. This will be a turnover. Archers will take possession with it. I'll have a couple people checking in here. Levi Warren and Lauren Psyche both coming on for Sarah Jorgensen and Shannon Hatch. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Rebels maintaining a 26-point lead. Archers keep cutting it down to 22, 23 around that area, but then Rebels just put it back up every time.
And again, when you're coaching in these situations, it's a case of, you know, do you try and get some rhythm for your starters, even when you're down by 25? Do you try and get some more playing time for your bench? And you can still work on stuff as a coach. So just because there's a 26-point deficit, it does not mean that sort of the purpose of the game is done by any point.
Not at all, and the Rebels certainly have taken that to heart. Big transition basket there. D'Angelique Waith with a strong layup. Got another 2. That's where the Rebels are best. Transition.
I think that one will annoy Safcons, as they've just had a couple now very easy ones where they've just run faster, and Archers haven't reacted quick enough. There must be some certain non-negotiables you have in your team, and one of them is don't give up layups in transition. So for layups like that, is one of those ones that sort of sits with you a little bit. Like, these are the ones where we could have just cut these out, and then it's only an 18-point loss or 18-point deficit rather than we're at 28.
Absolutely. Long range 3 here from D'Angelique Waith. Rolls off the rim a couple of times. Costa brings it down. She's fighting for it down low with Wagstaff. Wagstaff gets away with it. She and Waith now on the deck. Wagstaff gets it back. She's knocked down on the ground there from Lou Costa. It looks like everyone's all right. Psyche drives inside. Strong layup. That one goes off the glass. Under pressure. Drops it in.
That's a very physical 20 seconds there. Costa was under a lot of pressure from Wagstaff, and then it's a great finish by Psyche. It just shows like it still means something, even at this stage of the game.
And bam, pops a long range 3. Doesn't drop in. Kohlhaas can't keep the handle. That one falls out of bounds. Archers will take possession again here. Couple of substitutions for the Rebels. Waith and Costa come off the floor, replaced by Paxton and Ellie Shaxson.
There's a couple of fresh bigs in just to keep applying the pressure. Archers have gone quite small here. They was traditionally small today, but they're really downsized for this group. It's closer to sort of a 5-out, 5 perimeter player setup.
But they're looking for any space they can find here. Long range pass shoveled over from Wagstaff. Psyche's going to take that shot. It won't fall. Rebels bring it up the court. Carla Salazar drops that one off. She'll get it back. Kohlhaas now, letting her offense reset. Drives it inside, beats the defender. Long range 2, easily dropped in.
There's more excellent guard play from the Rebels. Just one dribble, take the open shot, and keep burying them. It's been a close to complete performance from them.
Long range 3 from Bunyan won't fall. Another rebound here for the Rebels. Harley Salazar to take it up the court. Jade Mbaum's got it. She'll find Kohlhaas. Another corner 3. Looks good. A little too long, though. Psyche now sends it over. Bunyan with it. Out in the corner, inside. Lemoyne kicks it back. Wagstaff, open 3. Just can't fall for it. Had a few open looks, just hasn't been able to hit them.
Yeah, the game's, if it's not necessarily drifting, but see, the game is basically done. It's been 3 minutes to play, and it's a 28-point deficit, but it's really important for both teams that they don't just go through the motions for these last few minutes. And I'd say it's probably equally important for Essex. I was speaking to the coach at the start of the game, and he said he'd had 23 practices from the start of the season to today. So he's still got lots of stuff he wants to work on. He wants them to get into a little bit better game shape. He wants to work on a few defensive concepts. So it's really important for them that they still use these last 3 minutes, despite the fact that they are up by a lot, to keep working on stuff. And the same for the Archers. You know, the return fixture next week, you've got to try and find a way to beat the certain defensive strategies or offensive strategies. So it's not like you can just sort of mail it in for the last 3 minutes. You've really got to keep grinding.
Not at all. Like you mentioned, both teams play each other next weekend in the WBBL as well in Essex Arena. Looking to get some, looks like there's a travel there. And that will be Archer ball. Both teams looking to see what everyone's got from the other team's roster. Cardiff Met, hopefully for them, they'll take some inspiration from today, come up with something different they can do next week, try to get a win on the road.
It's not quite a free hit, but knowing exactly how the opposition plays is both a blessing and a curse, and that they also know how you play. But it does give them license to get creative during the week and see if they can just come up with some crazy solutions that, again, it doesn't necessarily have to work for 40 minutes. You might just have 2 strategies that work for 5 minutes, and maybe that keeps it close enough that your regular stuff then does the business.
Absolutely. Rebels now. Big Salazar, she's got that long-range shot. It won't drop, but another offensive rebound comes back to her. Freeman drives inside, kick back out. Another drive, forced out again. That one inside from Shaxson. Bunyan, good defense.
And again, as you've shown, the advantage of just being big across the board. They've really pounded the offensive glass this 4th quarter, but Kohlhaas, a guard, just comes flying in and generates an extra possession.
Foul there, reach from the Rebels. This will be taken out from the baseline by the Archers here.
It's a good, you know, these again. Lauren Psyche's played the last couple of minutes, and she's got just under 2 minutes left. Again, it's good for her to play. Traditionally, coaches might decide that okay, she's maybe one of the starters or one of the better players, but she's done. There's a good chance for her to understand the system a little bit better, sort of get some game time in her legs, and keep working on stuff ready for some big games coming up in both Bucks and the WBBL.
The Rebels coming away with that one. The missed shot from Kang. Jackson's got it now. She's looking for someone to help her. Beak Salazar's got it. She gets the screen from Jackson and the switch. Jackson switches it over. Kohlhaas in the corner. Freeman now. Psyche on her. Cuts inside. Just beats the buzzer. Doesn't get it to drop. That one going to be off Jackson's foot. And the Archers come away with it. Good play there from Joelle Moreno.
Just a good job to get a hand in there and not let it be easy for them to just grab the ball and turn and put it straight back up. If you get your hand on the ball first, or as soon as they grab it, it's really tough to just rip it away.
Well, definitely. Psyche's got the ball here again. She'll find a corner outlet pass. Kang, long range three. That one goes in.
Yeah, perfect pass, on time, on target. You always talk about getting it into the shooting pockets. It was right there, exactly where Kim Kang likes to have it, landed our hands, and that shows the benefits of having an experienced point guard on the team.
Paxton goes up strong. She's fouled there. Should have 2 free throws here. She's fouled by Issy Bunyan. 2 free throws for the Rebels. Paxton hasn't been as dominant today as she was last week off the bench, but she hasn't really needed to be, with Ashley Munn's 24 points and Lou Costa's 13 leading the way.
I think it's always a good sign as a coach when there's quite a nice balanced spread of scoring. 9 out of the 10 players have scored. There's 3 in double digits. Most of the rest of it hit at least 5. Now, when everyone's contributing, you feel again a lot better, and I think the team feels better as well. See, one player's gonna go off. That's generally how it works when you win in such style. But for the whole team to score, everyone's going to be quite happy on the bus ride home.
Well, Psyche just can't put that shot in, but yeah, like you mentioned, Rebels, pretty much everyone's been on the board so far, and they've all done really well. Beak Salazar's got it, looking for space. She kicks it out to the corner. Freeman, long range three. She's fouled on the way up. That's going to be 3 shots. Fouled by Joelle Moreno.
And it's the 3rd time today that the Archers have fouled a 3-point shooter, and they did it a fair bit in Bucks the other day. Just potentially not giving enough space for the landing. It's one of the key areas of emphasis as a referee, is making sure that you protect shooters. As long as the shooter's going straight up, straight down, you've got to give them somewhere to land, and that helps prevent injuries, people rolling ankles, some dirty play there. So there's, it's just a fair contest from Moreno, and Freeman just landed a little bit further away than when she took off from, and Moreno takes the foul, but I think it's a fair call as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those calls today, but like you said, they don't feel unfair. Over to Kang. Kang, she's got space, kicks it back out though. Psyche over to Bunyan. Not much time left in the game here, just 4 seconds. Out of bounds, touched out by the Rebels. Archer should get one more play here.
Still important to try and score as points differential comes down to it.
Psyche throws up a long range three, doesn't bounce in, just tops off the front of the rim. This game will end Rebels with a big win today, 82-54. They've really just dominated the Archers in every aspect, and that's how they win this game on the road here today.
I think that's as close to a complete performance as you will probably have from the Essex Rebels. And when I was speaking to the coach pre-game, he's just talking about sort of trying to build pieces. I think he'll be very happy with that. They shot the ball really well, they moved it really well. Maybe it got slightly sloppy in the 4th quarter, but I think sometimes that naturally happens from a human perspective. And I think maybe what might please him most is that he said we've spent a lot of time working on defense. We've talked about where we're going to help from and how we're going to contain and certain defensive strategies. And they've not really gone into too much detail on it. They've gone more back to basic fundamentals, but they've held the Archers to 54. And I think that will probably be what pleases him most, is that the defense really kicked in today. And I think when you go to someone else's gym and you hold them to 54, you will be happy with that effort from your defense.
Well, they've certainly done well on defense today. They held Durham last week to 58 points, and they've held Cardiff Met here on the road to 54. That's a nice 2-game road trip for Essex. 2 big wins, 81 points last week, 81-58 win, and this week 82-54. Very similar story. And just a dominant game here.
The Archers really struggling with their shooting there, 23 of 79. It's only shooting 29%, including 21% from three. They really just struggled to get it going. Shannon Hatch had 23 points and 11 rebounds, but aside from that, no one else really managed to get going.
Well, we're going to come over now. We're going to cut over to a quick presentation here post-game for the Cardiff Met Archers. We've got a quick presentation here. We'll drop you to for Robin Lewis, ex-Archer player, right now. All right, well, as we wait here, we're going to have some post-game interviews here in just a moment from both Coach Steph Collins and from Shannon Hatch. As we wait for that, best player in the game today, Tom, who do you think that would be? Player of the game so far?
I think that in the end you have to give it to Ashley Munns. 24 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 2, 5 of 9 from 3, so over 50%. She's got a couple of rebounds, an assist, a steal. She's got the highest index on the winning team. A plus-minus of 29 and an index of 19, and I think the way that she shot the ball early really set the tone for the Essex Rebels. And I think that while Costa had the first little bit there, and she certainly had a big impact just by where she was on the floor, let alone necessarily the scoring, which she did do a little bit of, but also just her threat. But I think ultimately Munns was the biggest difference maker there for the Rebels in taking such a comfortable victory.
Well, they really took advantage of everything they had. Quick little celebration here for Robin Lewis. Robin played here for the Archers for 3 years, the past 3 years. She's actually moved up to Scotland now, not a part of the team anymore, but she was renowned for her massive impact here, both as a team leader and with her defense. She finished on the all defensive team in the WBBL in 2018-19, along with the all-British team of that year as well. One of the best players to ever wear the Archer uniform. Quick celebration for her here today. And we're going to come here in just a few seconds. We've got Blake post-match with Shannon Hatch for an interview here now.
Okay, joining me now post-game is Shannon Hatch, a very key player for the Cardiff Met side today. It was a tough game today for you guys, but was there many positives you can take going forwards after this?
It was definitely a really, really tough one, to be honest. The positive is that, like, we really fought back after the really bad first quarter that we had. I thought we were in it, and we showed some fight, and we didn't hang our heads too low, and we really just kept on fighting possession by possession. They're really, I mean, credit to them. They shot the ball really, really well, and they played well together. They shared the ball, and they just made it tough on us. But yeah, after going down 25 in the first quarter, I thought we really battled hard to just keep it even. And I know we can't erase that first quarter, but if we could just look at the other 3 quarters, we were in it and we fought really hard, so I was proud of the girls. Yeah,
so there's definitely many positives you can take from that game. Is there anything in particular that you'll look to change going into next week's game, again against the Essex Rebels?
Yeah, it's true that it's fantastic. It's a good opportunity because we get to go right back at them, and learn from our mistakes this week and try to turn things around. Definitely they're shooters, and we'll have to rearrange on defense to get better rotations. I thought we slowly got it by the end there, so we'll just have to look at film and try to improve best we can. And on offense, we definitely have to put more points on the board, and I think it comes from our defense. If we can get stops, we like to run and push the ball, so hopefully we'll just make the adjustments.
Yeah, definitely time to reflect from that. Plenty of time to look back on and definitely take the positives going forward. We're just waiting for the coach, Steph Collins, who's going to be joining us in a moment. And just before she does, looking back on your performance, but in particular, would you say you're proud of how you sort of rallied the team up? I noticed yourself and a couple of the other players, like you said, in the second half, the energy seemed to increase, the points started getting scoring. What was the difference? What was the half-time talk that Steph went through you guys? Was it to more patience when going towards the bucket, or?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a lot about sticking together, not hanging our heads low, and I thought we really did it. We did that. We stayed together. It was lovely to have Lauren first game as an Archer. It was incredible to have her join us, and I think she'll be a great asset for us. It was fantastic to have Sarah Jurgensen back in the mix. So like those are two great positives. Now we just need Laura Shanahan, Jeffy to get back, and Mara to get healthy, and then we have a really good squad. So that's a really big positive that I'll take away, is that we at least have two new faces back in. Well, Sarah's not new, but it was good energy, and we stuck together. We really did. So we just have to stay doing that, really, and hopefully success will come.
Okay, thank you very much, Shannon, and that was a fantastic performance for you, and best of luck for next week's game.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay, now we're just going to hand over to our Cardiff Met Archers head coach, Steph Collins. Steph, we were just speaking with Shannon just then. It was a tough game out there, but was there many positives you can take from that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was not a great start by us, absolutely. So we knew going in this game it was going to be a tough affair because, Essex, given a lot of credit, they're a great team. They shoot really well. So we knew we had to key on some shooters and stuff like that. So, and with Costa inside, that was going to be a presence that we had to take care of. So, we had a tough start, but I think the way they responded was we got a timeout, kind of sorted some things out. I think overall, there was some good spells, good periods of play. We just weren't able to string it together for 40 minutes. So I think that's the difference. And obviously, they shot particularly well. For us, we haven't quite found that offensive flow for us. So, a lot of our shots didn't drop today, but something that we can keep building upon. Absolutely.
Yeah, we said before that there's plenty of positives you can take from that going forwards. You get another opportunity to play against S Rebels next week,
yes.
which is a great chance for a bit of redemption. What will you be doing in training now in particular going forwards? Is there anything in particular you want to try and focus on to try and maybe nullify their attack?
Yeah, so I think, now we got to look at this game, watch video. I think that's probably a very powerful tool for us, is to kind of watch this game, because the beauty is that we don't see him in 2 months' time. We see him next weekend, as you mentioned. So now we can watch video, see what went well, what didn't go so well, what can we improve, and we'll take that opportunity to kind of put it right in training this week. Yeah, absolutely, and that is such a vital asset that you get to sort of reflect on that game and a quick turnaround to play against that same team. Yeah. And I was saying before with Shannon, there's a couple of debuts. Would you say at this stage of the season it's more about like experimenting to see what works, or is it sort of try your best now and get some points early on in the season to hopefully try and qualify for the playoffs? Yeah, I mean it's been interesting because obviously this is Lauren's first game with us. She should have been here earlier. Obviously Sarah's returning for the first game. We've obviously missed Mara, so she's not in the lineup. So we've had quite a different rotations. Even Joelle's coming back in the mix because she was injured. So we've had some fresh faces. So it's kind of now, there was a little bit of that international break. So we had a period off where we didn't have any games. So it's I kind of said to them, look, like this period now, between now and Christmas, we've got to treat it like a mini season in itself, because we've already played 6 league games leading into that international break, and now we're playing 5 more games before we have a Christmas break where we have 2 weeks off. So it's kind of now, okay, let's see what we can work on, what can we focus on offensively, what can we focus on defensively during this spell of time, and see how we do. And then we go into the new year refreshed and kind of like, okay, keep going. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like the plan is there, and it's very good to see the performances out there and a chance to really build going forward. I noticed sort of in the first half, during a team talk, you could see sort of a reaction from the players. I remember the ball going out of play, and the players show signs of that sort of aggression that you need. What is it needed to sort of get the players that energy they need and that aggressiveness? Is it, you use these home games, for example. Is it about making the most of being at home? Will it change at all going into next week's game? Yeah, I think that team cohesion is everything, In team sport, you've got to have everyone pulling each other up, and show that fight, absolutely. And I think that's something the girls, they understand that. And, especially when things might not be going our way. Maybe we've had a couple turnovers, maybe we missed some shots. That's the moment where everyone's got to uplift each other and really rally again, rally with each other in terms of, okay, we did a great defensive possession, let's get on top of that and kind of lift from there. Yeah, okay. That has been a very insightful view from you, and I wish you all the best for next week. Hopefully that you can really build from this, and hopefully the energy is always there from whenever you go on the road. So that was with us at Steph Collins, giving us some
really good insights from today's game, and it was an unfortunate defeat from Cardiff Met today, but I'm sure they will really look to bounce back in next week's game. Thank you very much for joining us at the Archers Arena here at Kincoid campus in Cardiff. Nostar.
Thanks, guys.